What is going on, everyone? It is Foul Play here, and we are back for another modern league here. I'm going to give Bant another shot. And yeah, I've made a couple of changes since the last league that I ran, which I abruptly cut short because it didn't go very well. I think most of the deck construction is pretty good. We just versed some bad matchups and had a bit of variance and as such, and didn't do very well as a result of that. So what we've got here is a 3-color mana base, hinging pretty strongly around mana confluence. What we want is we want double blue by turn 3, double white by turn 3, and just like one green mana source. So a lot of the time, if you've got a fetch heavy hand, you'll get one Temple Garden, then you'll get like double Hallowed Fountain, and then you're in. I have got the Raised Verge Thicket here. I don't want to go too high on like the blue-white sources because then that ups the chance that a Glade Cover Scout hand might be bad and unable to cast a turn 1 creature because we've just got a Sea Chrome Coast or just got an island. So we've got 3 land sources in the deck that can't cast Scout. Other than that, if you have a Scout hand with Curious Obsession, 1 fetch land, you can get a Breeding Pool. You're guaranteed to get your card draw sort of on turn 2. Hopefully hit that second land drop, play out your other auras. Yep, so the aura base here is Ethereal Armor like standard as a 4, High Number as a 4 standard, Curious Obsession for that card draw, also a 4, Daybreak Coronet as a 4 of usual shenanigans, and then we got 3s for Staggering Insight, for Arcane Flight, for Rancor, and a 1 of Sentinel's Eyes. Sentinel's Eyes is like kind of nice because you can discard it to Croxer. Comes back from the graveyard if you need a reset or something along those lines. And yeah, I was running Invisible Stalker in this list as well. It just feels like a little bit slow, and the reason why I want to play Bant is so that I can have like 8-1 turn 1 creatures. And like, Stalker's pretty good, but at the moment I've got 26 auras in the deck, and that is a stack ton. Like, the chance of us being aura light goes down a lot in this scenario. Interactive spells of Force Negation, Stubborn Denial, and Path over here. If I had more tickets, I'd buy more forces. I just don't have the tickets right now. Modern's too hostile, really, for me to build them up either. So mostly, it's just like, over a course of like 5 leagues, I'll go sort of even, and I'm just really not going anywhere with my ticket building, unfortunately, not right now. So we got Surgical Extractions in the graveyard for Uro decks. I guess other decks like Oops All Spells, it hits as well. An extra Stubborn Denial for Unfair Combo decks. An extra Path for Shadow decks. Torpor Orb for ETB decks, looking at Skyclave Apparition in particular. Tail's End is an interesting one. I was running Trickbind for a while to trigger effects like Blast Zone. But this, on the upside, can also target legendary spells, i.e. legendary creatures, planeswalkers. I can't quite remember if artifacts are legendary or not, but it's a counterspell and interaction with an activated ability, which looks pretty strong to me. 1 of Suppression Field here, 4 Ley Lines, and 2 Force of Figures. We'll take this one, we'll jump into a leg. Alright, so here we are for match number 1, winning the die roll. On the play, no creature, so we mull. This hand is significantly better, we're going to keep. And I'll probably just ditch this Force of Negation. Also, big shout out to Hiso for the Tail's End tech as well. I didn't quite give it when I introduced it in yesterday's modern video. I went pretty bad in that league. I ended up going 5-0 despite winning 3 or 4 of the die rolls and getting a lot of 2-1s. I just couldn't quite get the victory. We're versing Goblins here. And yeah, so I figured I'd re-record another league, give you guys a bit of better content, and I'll just mash the games in. Time for the weekend. So let's get in there. Curious Obsession, attack for a nice juicy 4 points of damage, draw a card. Next time we might be able to draw 2 cards. Oh, we get life gain, that's pretty nice. On Staggering Insight there. So hopefully we don't just get chump blocked out. Opponent finds a conspicuous Snoop. No combo yet on the top. Finding counter magic is pretty nice here. There's a pretty high likelihood. I can't actually see my opponent sacking this Spurg Prospector just yet. They might do it to stop me from gaining a bunch of life. We do draw 3 cards if we connect this as well. Connect it with them, not with a creature. So yeah, I'm just going to attack in and pressure for as much as we can. Force Negation isn't really that good against these Goblin decks. They're mostly creature-based combo. Alright, so we do land, we draw 3 cards. The cards aren't amazing, but we do get flying, and we will be able to win with flying next turn, as long as we get to our next draw step. Bogat Harbinger for the win. Great. Fun. So good. How can we beat this much skill, man? How can we beat this much skill? Cool, Kiki Jiki, whatever. So they make 1 million copies of Snoop, get ETBs every time, and then they use Bogat Harbinger, copy that, and then put Sling Gang Lieutenant on top, and then they win. So this is why Counter Magic's just absolute fucking garbage against them, and Path's pretty good, Suppression Field's pretty good. We do have to be worried about Blood Moon, we do have to be worried about Chalice of the Void. All these things are very, very annoying. Tail's End sort of will stop them from comboing for a turn, interestingly enough, which might be better than nothing. Definitely want Torporob because it shuts down a large portion of their deck. And we probably want these Force of Vigors too. So now we need to decide which cards to cut out. And I think I value our flying pretty highly. Trample's still pretty up there. It's probably most likely just going to be these slow staggering insights that come out. Maybe an Arcane Flight as well, and we'll go off that. Get into the match. Alright, so obviously on the play here, we've got some sort of interaction and a Curious Obsession. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not hugely threat dense as far as our auras are concerned. Hopefully Curious Obsession lets us draw some other auras. Hopefully. Who knows? Alright, and opponent did mull to 6 cards, so they're going to be slightly lighter on combo pieces. Go ahead, get out this Bogle, pass the turn. We might want to fetch a basic with this next land, because the potential against this deck of them having Blood Moon is pretty high, unless we draw another green card, that is. So I'm just going to go and, I guess I'll fetch a basic island here, because we're loaded up on blue cards right now. And we get the card draw online real quick. We can find another basic as well with the Windswept Teeth. Pretty nice. And then we can start holding up Path to Exile as well. So unless they have something wacky like Simian Spirit Guide into Blood Moon here, then we're just going to get at least 2 basics out. Looks like they've just gone for the Snoop. They've got a Skirk Prospector on top. Not the biggest fan of our opponent drawing that card, but at the same time, I really don't care that much. Let's attack in for another 4 points of damage. I think I'm just going to crack this one pre-combat, get a planes. Oops. I probably should have paid... No, I want to hold up mana here, actually. Yeah. It's just correct to hold up mana for Path here. If they play Bogat Harbinger, which they just drew on top of their library, of course. So if they have land in hand, which they do, they can look for the combo here. We'll let this trigger resolve, let them get their Kiki Jiki, and then in response to the trigger, we'll path the Conspicuous Snoop. Can we do it that way, or can they just make 1 million copies? It's non-token creature, right? With I think I might have fucked this up. If we path the Harbinger, they have no way to combo off this turn. Create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Alright, let's just path this Bogart Harbinger. I don't know, I want them to get the Kiki with the Harbinger trigger, but then they can make like a million Snoop tokens end step, and we can attack into it with flying and vigilance, and then they all die. So it doesn't, I think this is fine. It's just, it might draw the game out for a long time while they make like 50 tokens, but we already have flying, so I don't know why they'd do that. This path will also actually make them shuffle the Kiki Jiki, actually. Yeah, which I didn't consider a moment ago. Which means they need to do all the activations now, and then they just lose all their activations. So I think this line is actually completely fine. Alright, so opponent gets one Snoop. They get another Snoop on top this time. And they can attack us for 2. And that's about all they can do. Yeah, if someone's got a better line and interaction with how I interact with the combo there, feel free to comment it. That's just the best line that I could see at the given point in time. Alright, so we can do a lot of damage here. I think I just want to fetch shock, thin the library ever so slightly. And then we got an attack for 7 in the air. I don't think that I want to play both Hyena Umbra and Daybreak Coroner. I think I want to hold up the white mana for if I draw Path. And like adding that Hyena Umbra to the board doesn't give us the win this turn anyway, so get double draw. We find absolute fucking garbage. Alright, opponent with an Aether Vial activation here gets a Mog War Marshal. So with the Skirk Prospector they have in hand, they're going to have access to a lot more mana this turn. I don't know if they just have the win. Like, if they have another way to put Kiki Jiki on top, they win, obviously. Get rid of this one. If they tick it up to 3, they might be able to give more things haste, which might be an issue. I'm not really sure. I'll just try and pop the vial now, though. Alright, so we do get to pop the Aether Vial. They get an Echo Trigger. And I am actually going to, unfortunately, just like slow click through this turn, so they might respect the fact I have another path and might not go for it, although they're dead to my next attack, so they're probably going to go for it anyway. Play Snoop off the top. They've got at least one Snoop in hand and a Skirk Prospector that we know about. They just rolled into an Anti's Hovel. I guess they don't have the combo, if that's the line they're going for. They get another buy with the Sunbait Canyon. Cracking that to draw card. They can sack some of these Goblin tokens to do stuff as well. You're really slow rolling the Bogart Harbinger. Chalice of the Void. Good information. Opponent concedes. Bloody beautiful. Alright, good. Okay, so I think they were leaving up the black mana so that if they found Bogart Harbinger, they'd be able to cast it eventually. Do we want to change anything? We know about Chalice of the Void, so maybe a couple of Force of Negations could come in handy while we're tapped out. expecting the turn 2 Chalice, that is. And we could do that instead of Tail's End. I think I like that. Alright, let's submit. Alright, so opponent is keeping their 7. We're going to keep this as well. We've got, like, good interaction, a very good aura, and a way to play around Blood Moon with at least 1 mana. And yeah, that's a really good one to draw as well. Alright, so we're going to start with the Scout. Leave Bogle in hand in case we draw Force of Negation. I smell a Chalice here, honestly. I can't do much about the Chalice. Maybe I should have boarded in more Staggering Insights. Yeah, okay. Because there goes my interaction as well. Yeah, I definitely should have boarded. Okay, it didn't want to attack then for some reason. Whatever. We're probably just dead to Chalice anyway. It's really good against us. Definitely should have bought in these Staggering Insights though. That's a pretty large oversight from me. Can't even attack here. Into a Mog War Marshal. How embarrassing. Yikes. Is he going for Thoughtseize? That's not going to work. Blood Moon. Alright, well, we'll play around this by getting blue mana. And maybe we draw Force of Vigor and we get the 2-for-1. And then we can just unload our hand and do a lot of damage. His hand does do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, our opponent does a lot more with this Blood Moon. They're able to cast a lot more of their spells with their Blood Moon than what we can with Blood Moon plus Chalice. And it's shutting down literally all of our auras. Now they got a Cranko Mob Boss online and they can just spam tokens. It's pretty bad for us. Literally, like, we could draw Suppression Field. That's just slowing them down a little bit. The only card that actually gets us back into the game is Force of Negation. Force of Vigor, sorry. Pretty big oversight. I probably want to sideboard out. I think my flying's actually still good. Probably my Hyena Umbra's here. You fucking kidding me? Chalice on 2 as well. Get a life, man. Holy shit. Come on, Lucky Force. Let's go. Right on time. Let's go. Yay. Alright, we'll see what they can do. We're probably just very, very dead here. These exponentially large growing tokens. Alright, we pretty much need Force of Vigor off the top this turn, and now we got a Blood Moon to deal with as well. Holy smokes, man. This is a lot of hate. Whatever, I'm conceding. I'm not winning from this point. I need to hit either Life Gain there or Force of Vigor there, and then I need to hit the other piece next turn. Yeah, we sideboarded wrong. I think sideboard wise, we probably want to leave the Staggering Insights in. Trim on Sentinel's Eyes and Hyena Umbras. Leaving all our Staggering Insights after seeing Chalice. And then our other effects that we had are probably fine as well. Maybe Force of Negation didn't need to be in either. Oh, let's go to the next one. Thanks everyone for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to comment down below. Other than that, have a great day. I'll see you next time.